the ego hit is addictive. Like, even though I know you said like when you got the 100,000 followers, it didn't mean anything. But what could mean something is when, like, I don't know, maybe you're introducing yourself to someone, they search your account, they see 100,000 followers. Like that look, that respect that they suddenly give you, it's like an ego hit, it's validation. And I think that's one of the most difficult things about success and like starting to reach a certain level is like your ego, it's easier for your ego to get involved. So I'm curious from your perspective, like you've achieved a ton of stuff. We went over it in the intro, right? And you mentioned having people around you that keep you humble. But I'm assuming it must still come up. There must be like moments where you're like, I did that. Like the ego must like spur up. Do you have that?
Yeah, I mean, we all have ego.
Yeah.
In our own ways. Fighting it is really important. You've read Ego is the Enemy, I assume.
Yeah.
Ryan Holiday, who
I'm reading it right
is
now,
one of my
actually.
favorite authors.
Yeah.
Got connected with him recently. He's a fantastic human being too, which is one of my favorite things when you meet someone that's one of your heroes and they're amazing. So that's fantastic. Look, I mean, it's unavoidable to experience some of that. And I think it's fine to feel proud of yourself when you accomplish something that you've worked really hard for. The thing is, like, is it a moment of pride where you're like, yo, I'm in this, like I did it? Or is it something that then you're going around with your chest puffed up every single day? Because I have always found in my entire life, whenever you do that, whenever you're walking around with your chest puffed up, that's when you get knocked the hell out by something. I don't know what it is. It just happens. Like, and I'm not even a big believer in this whole like universe energy, all, you know, like all that stuff. I'm not like, you know, woo woo about all these things happening in the world. I'm not particularly religious, but for whatever reason, when you puff yourself up like that for too long period of time, you get knocked out. And it happened to me in baseball. Like I would, you know, I'd have a couple good games in a row and then you'd see me like swaggering over to the field. I'd have my headphones in. I was like playing Drake, you know, thinking I was legit, and I would get rocked. Whatever that next game was, man, I would get rocked. Like without fail, I was getting wrecked. Same thing academically. Like I'd start thinking I was hot shit in some class or at work, like start thinking I had it all figured out. I knew how to invest. I knew what the game was. And then you get smoked. And that's the important thing is like, you have to separate having that moment of pride, being able to say like, damn, I'm proud of myself, because I think that's so important. Like you have to love yourself around these things. I don't talk about that a lot, but like my positivity more than anything else is my brand, right? Like I'm a very positive guy. You won't see me say negative shit on social media because I'm a very positive person. And I believe that we all need to be a little bit more positive with each other and with ourselves. And so you need to take those moments when like when you accomplish something, you're doing your first episode in person right now. That's a cool accomplishment, man. It's like, man, I went through seasons, like I grinded away, did the remote thing. Now I'm able to like go and invest in doing something in person, you know, hopefully a guest that you are excited to have on the show for the first one in person. And like, that's cool. You should say to yourself, like you should be able to go home tonight and be like, damn, I did that. I did that thing, and like enjoy and appreciate that moment. Because if you don't, those like, they just pass you by, right? You want to be able to appreciate it. But then the next morning, you got to be able to get up and be hungry for whatever that next thing is. Because, you know, it's like that famous story of like in the, you know, in the wild, in the African savannah, it's like the lion gets up every morning and it needs to run in order to eat. The gazelle wakes up every single morning. It needs to run in order to not get eaten. And the whole point is when you wake up in the morning, you damn well better be running. Whatever it is. And I think about that a lot, man. I'm like, we're all just in some position. And I don't like you say, I feel like I've achieved. I don't sit here thinking like, oh, I've achieved a bunch of things. I'm like, man, I'm in inning one. I'm getting started. Like I just am feeling like I'm getting started. And I have the same concerns, stresses, struggles every single day as I did when I had 1,000 followers and none of this was real. So I don't feel any different. I certainly feel happier because I'm doing something that I enjoy every single day. And I have a life that's much more shaped to things that I get to do, experience in a way that I never imagined I would have. But I don't feel different.
You know, have you watched like the Avengers films?
No.
Oh, okay. There's like this, my analogy is going to be a bit weird now.
That's all right. Hit me.
You messed
I like
up my
weird
analogy.
analogies, man. I drop weird analogies all day. Hit me.
So, obviously the villain in Avengers is Thanos.
Yeah.
And spoiler for anyone that wants to watch Avengers. It's been out for years, so I don't feel like I'm spoiling it at this point. But there's I'll say it like this. There's a moment in one of the films where like Thanos kind of achieves his aim.
Okay.
And he almost like goes to this other planet, and he's just, I think the final scene, he's like sitting in a field, and he just smiles. Like, it's like the job's done. It's like, you've done all of this. You've done like a long, hard day or days, years, decades of work. And you're just like sitting back. You're like, I did it. And to be honest, like, we all have those moments throughout our life where you're like, you're chasing something, you're in the process of trying to achieve something, and then you finally get it. And it's not even getting it that means something. It's that moment where you can like just sit back and just be like, wow, like,
it's the best, man.
I did it. Like, it's a beautiful thing. I'm curious, like, and it was interesting because after Thanos did that, he kind of just, like, it was over for him. Like, he's like, oh, I'm done. Like, do you think that there's a point for you where it's like that sit back in your chair, like, I'm ready to check out. Like, I'm just like, obviously you'll still have like a family and like something like that you're living for and enjoying, but that you'll just be like, I don't feel like the lion that needs to wake up tomorrow and go and like hunt some shit. Like, I'm gonna chill. Like, it's done.
I think it depends how you're wired. Your internal wiring is like very important for whether you end up wanting to have that checkout moment or not. I'll give you an example. The Google guys, the Google founders, you know, I don't know what they're worth, tens, hundreds of billions of dollars, kind of checked out. Like, you don't hear about them. They're not really like running big venture firm. They're not like going to space like Bezos and Musk. They sort of built their thing, and they're kind of just like off the radar and not doing a whole lot. And from what I understand about them, like, they made their hundreds of billions and they're chill. Like, they're happy to chill. They're like PhDs. They're just like, I think they're just stoked. Like, they're just happy. Then you get someone like a Jeff Bezos, hundreds of billions of dollars. Now he wants to go to space. Elon Musk, same thing. Like, wants to save humanity or whatever the hell he's doing, you know, this day. Buying Twitter. For me, I'm like, again, I'm not motivated by money. So the end point for me is like, I want to impact people. If I still feel like I'm impacting people in some way, shape, or form, I want to keep doing that. I love being around people. That's what I get the most energy from. Like, this conversation, I'm getting a ton of energy from. It's a blast for me to do. If I can do that at scale with tons of people around the world, different, you know, societies, different cultures, different religions, different backgrounds. If I can do that as a living and get paid for it, like, that's insane to me. That's so cool. And so will I ever want to just stop doing that? I don't think so. Because there's not, again, it's like finite versus infinite. There's not some end. Like, I'm not sitting here with 700,000 followers, whatever I have on Twitter, and saying like, I want to get to 1 million. And when I get to 1 million, I'm just going to stop. Because I'm not going to feel any different. It's going to be cool. I'm going to be like, damn, 1 million people. That's cool. But then I'm going to just continue writing and put out whatever my next thing is. And that's literally what I've done every single week for the last 2.5 years or whatever it is that I've been writing on Twitter. Same thing with my newsletter. Like, there's not just some end when you're playing infinite games.
I love that point of just like the infinite games. I think it's so good.